Hi you guys, welcome in. This is a business life with Tony, and I kind of go over on this channel different steps towards being an entrepreneur, towards getting your business license and being successful and things like that. Today I did realize that I had a bunch of new subscribers. I have been on 2 different platforms within the last 3 days, maybe even longer. Since I got my business license, I kind of like announced it, and then I had people asking different questions from all over. So I realized I do have those new people coming in, and since I have the license now, I kind of want to wheel it back in and just kind of go over things again. So I just want to start by saying every state is different. What they do in one state is not what they're going to do in the other state. And it's called regulations or regulated. So what you want to do is you want to reach out to the public health department and you want to ask them, are you in a regulated state or a non-regulated state? The business license that you're looking for is home service agency, and it's different everywhere. So they might call it home care. But what I could tell you is it's not home health. So you want to tell them it's non-medical home care and kind of just explain it to them that you would like to take care of seniors in their home. You could work with other agencies. So let's say there is a nursing home and they're short staffed. You can work with them to place people there. You can work with them to go there yourself. So in this business or this, with this license, you can work yourself. You can work by yourself. You can hire. The thing is, when you're not licensed, you cannot send anybody out to work. So being licensed allows you to do that. It allows you to have breaks and have people come in and help you out when you need it, so that you're not getting overwhelmed. Creating jobs for people. My alarm just went off and that whole video just don't have no sound, but try to pick back up where I was. But yeah, you would be creating jobs for your family, your relatives. You can kind of help them out. I really feel like I need to just start over because I don't know what I done said. I really just be flowing. Well, I will say, go ahead. The number one thing is you want to check with your state. Ask, is it regulated? Is it non-regulated? Ask for your administrative code, where you can find your administrative code. They'll probably give you a link or a website and tell you that you can go there and find the information that you need. The information that you want is the administrative code, which is the rules and regulations. You need that because you're going to have to... It's the rules that you need to follow. You want to know what you're going to get yourself into before you get yourself into it. You want to know if you can follow these things. Some people have to, in some states, you're required to have an office. You might be required to have an office. You might have to have a front and a back door. So if that's not feasible for you right now, you might want to just, see what else you can get in order. See if that's the only thing that's holding you back and proceed or not, depending on what you can do at that time. So you want to take a good look at that stuff. Also, your policy and procedure is going to be based on there. And I'll get into a little bit of that later on. But you want to obtain your administrative code, which is your rules and regulations. From there, you want to ask for the application for home service agency licensing. You want the application. You're going to fill out the application. At the time of turning the application in, you have to turn in your like a filing fee. Mine in Illinois was $1,500. I think mine was more on the higher end. Not to say that yours is going to be $1,500 because every state is different again. So you want to ask these questions when you call them. And hopefully you're jotting this stuff down now. Now, this next thing I'm going to mention is because I had somebody that was just so confusing. She was scared to give them her money. She's like, no, I don't want to give them my money because what if this, what if that? Don't worry about that. They're going to help you all the way to the end. So I had these same concerns and I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I done already fixed this 2 times. Are they going to get tired of me and tell me, look, you don't deserve your license because you can't get it right? They're not going to do that. They're going to continue to give you chances to turn your stuff in. They're going to answer questions that you have. They're going to help out as much as they can. So generally, I find that through this whole process, everybody was super helpful, super nice. So when you turn in your application, you do have to turn in that fee, that application fee with the application. If there's anything wrong, if they need further information, if they need more documents, if you didn't do something right, they're going to get back to you and let you know that. You have an opportunity to get it back in. You have the opportunity to ask questions if you don't understand. It's all of your information. Let me see. So this is what it looks like here. This was my application. And I have a video going over it, so check out the other videos. But you can do this online, and I think that's a better idea. I think it's best for you to do it online. Type everything out. There's some boxes. Make sure you check mark the boxes appropriately. It tells you what pages you need to fill out specifically, if you could see that. But I recommend doing it online and saving it, because if something's not right, you don't have to do this whole packet all over again. You could just bring it back up online, change what needs to be fixed or add or take away, and you can reprint it, because this is a legal document. Once you sign this and turn this in to the state, it is now a legal document. You cannot scratch anything out. You can't put a line and put your signature. You can't do none of that. So I really recommend going online and completing your application. Like I said, my licensing fee for home service agency was $1,500. I sent a check for $1,500 from my business account. And yeah, so once you turn your application in, if everything is good, they're going to get back to you and say, okay, we accepted your application. Nothing further needs to be done with that. What we need from you now is basically your policy and procedures. When you get into the policy and procedures, I forgot. I'm going to save that till later. I'm going to save it till later. So I want to go in order. Okay, so once you reach out to them, actually, before you turn in your application, there's some things that you need to do. You have to have some sort of legal entity. I have an LLC. I have a friend on Facebook, like a Facebook friend. I just posted on my other Facebook profile, but he's doing right now, he's doing a free filing. All you have to do is pay your state fees, which you have to pay anyway if you're getting an LLC, and the taxes. I'm going to ask him if I could put his information in the description. So just check there if you're interested in that. He does it for free. He helps out. And then I'll put a picture in here if he said it's okay. If he busy or he said nah, then I'm not going to put it in there. But I'm going to check for y'all. So you need to have some type of legal entity. Like I said, I have an LLC. You have to choose a name. They're not going to allow you to choose a name that's already taken. If it is overlooked, they will ask you later on to choose something else. So I say just have a couple names ready. With an LLC, you can have an LLC like Business Life with Tonii LLC. And then you could do a doing business as, which does cost. I think mine was $25. It costs, but if you want to have different things going on, maybe you have a home service agency and then you have a group home and you want to call them separate, you know, two different things, and you want to make sure that account is different from that account, and you just want to keep it separated. You don't have to do a series because the series is more expensive. You could do a doing business as, and you can have as many of those as you need. That's what I have. So you need the LLC. When you get the LLC, there's things in the LLC that you have to go through. I went through that step by step, so if you go back to the other video, you'll see what you need. It's really basic. It's your information. It's your name. It's your number. It's your email address. What you want the business to be. It's that type of information. It's super easy. It's super quick to fill out. Again, when you turn that application in, they're going to ask for the payment. So that's going to cost. So keep up with the cost, okay? Because I know somebody's probably going to be like, how much does it cost to get started? So you have your application fee so far, and you have your LLC application or filing fee so far. And if you want to do a business as, that is an additional fee. So the reason why you need the LLC first is because on the application for the public health department, they're going to ask for your business name, and they're going to require that you have some type of legal entity. And so this is another reason why you might get referrals from a hospital, or you might be put on a referral list, or somebody might let you advertise, because it's double checking with everything. So you're doing something with the Secretary of the State, and they have to verify that. You're doing something with the public health department, and they're verifying that. So you're going through a lot of verifications that you probably don't even realize you're going through. And so this is why we're more credible, and we could do more advertising and get more referrals and things like that. Okay, so legal entity. The next thing I'm going to say you need is an EIN. You can get the EIN for free on the irs.gov website. I talk about this before in another video, and I believe I show it. It's all your own information. It's the business name. It's the address you want to use. They allow you to print it. It'll show up on your screen. You can screenshot it. You can print it out. But they also send it in the mail. Okay, so you get a paper copy in the mail, but you can also screenshot or print it off your screen. It's free. You do have to do it during business hours. So if it's like 9 to 5, you got to do it within those business hours. You do not need the EIN to do your application. The only thing you need to do your home service agency application is the legal entity setup. Okay, so moving forward, now you have your LLC. You need that. You have your EIN, you need that. You take those things together and go get you a business bank account. I highly recommend that you get a business bank account somewhere that is not charging you, whether that be a credit union. Some places, like I have Chase, and if I fall below like a $2,000 balance in my account, they charge me $15 a month. Okay, so if I know I'm not going to be able to keep that $2,000 in there, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go to like a credit union that's not going to charge. You want to go somewhere that's not going to charge you, because for the time being, you're not making money. You've already put money out. If it's like me, you put out $1,500 already, and you still got a ways to go, and you still got money to put out. So while you're still going through this process, you're not going to be making money right now. You don't want to have that type of bank account set up, but you want to have this bank account set up so that you're taking these steps, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you come across a grant. You don't know if you come across some type of opportunity where you don't necessarily need to be licensed. You can do this without being licensed, but you cannot hire people. It's going to be harder, like I said, to get clientele. Because at this point, you really got to go like door to door. You really got to bump into people that need the help. So you can do it without the license by yourself. And so maybe you bring in money that way, or maybe you know what I'm saying? You just never know. Just have it already ready, set up, and ready to go. And like I said, I recommend that you do not pay for your business bank account. If I were you, I would try to get a savings and a bank account, checking account, sorry. There is a website I forgot to mention. It's like your state licensing department for Illinois. I think I just typed in like Illinois State Licensing Department. So if you're not here for home care, that's totally fine. You're still going to follow all these steps. But if you're not doing home care and you're doing something like child care or a kennel, like doggy daycare or something like that, you want to look up the state licensing department. It's going to have a bunch of options of a bunch of things that you can do, and you can get licensed. It's going to give you the information, the telephone number, the email address. You want to contact those people and ask the same thing and follow these same steps. All right, so you have that. You cool. You can finish getting into your policy and procedures. The next steps to your application, they're going to ask you for policy and procedures based on your rules and regulations. Your rules and regulations are your outline. This part I was so scared of, but I still felt like I'm just a different type of person. My brain just functions differently. So I really was like, I really don't want to pay nobody for this. I really want to try to do it myself. And I was considering paying somebody $16,000 to do it. And I'm so glad I didn't. I also had another opportunity where I could have purchased somebody else's agency that I used to work for. And I love that agency. I was on their payroll, but they used to ask me how much I was going to charge to go to a certain client. So I loved working there. So anyway, I just always kept this nice relationship with them. Always kept checking in with them and stuff like that. And I called one day to get some help with my policy and procedures, and she was like, you could actually purchase our agency. And I was going to do it. Like, I was this close, and I'm glad I didn't. It would have been nice because they already have some clients. They already have paperwork. They've already paid for attorneys to come and check all their stuff, and so it would have been a really good opportunity. But these are things that you can do yourself. I'm just telling you this because don't doubt yourself. These are things that you guys can do yourself. Even if you feel like right now you don't know anything, keep going. Keep looking for the information. Keep watching the videos. I did this. I don't know how many times I watched the same video of multiple people, because it's really different. Like, when you start researching and learning, and like, I didn't know what an administrative code was, but when I figured out what it was, I was like, oh, now when I watch this video, it makes more sense to me, because now you have a different level of understanding for different things, with the terminology and with requirements and things like that. So if you have to watch the same video 10 times, do that. If you know what I'm saying? When you get to a certain point, if you're following these steps, and you get done with getting your EIN and you like, okay, what's next? I'm gonna watch this whole video all over again because, you know, now you at a different level of understanding. This video might hit different. Basically, that's what it is. It's gonna hit different. So if that's what you need to do, do it. That's what I did. Like, you really got to put the work in. Okay, so going back to the policy and procedure, again, your administrative code and your rules and regulations are your outline. And that's what makes it easy. You want to read the administrative code and rules and regulations. You want to read it to understand, to make sure you comprehend exactly what is in there, because these are the things that you have to follow. And let me tell you, they have fines, crazy fines, okay? If you're not following something, if you don't have a sign on your door like you're supposed to have, it's nothing. I got a poster board from the Dollar Tree and I colored in with a Sharpie marker and I like weaved it in and out my door, and where it weaves in and out at, I kind of taped it and glued it so it could kind of show up like a sign. They don't care. It's just something to identify your agency. And even though I don't have people coming in and out of my house, you still have to have that, because if the state comes, they need to get in here and see what they need to do, and your house or whatever you're using has to be identifiable. So I just don't want to scare y'all. You don't need this actual sign that costs a lot of money. I got mine from the dollar store and I drew it with my hand and colored it in. So if I was not to have that sign, it could be a $500 fine. It could be a $1,500 fine. I don't know. I didn't really look at it because I'm not going to have that issue. So just want to let y'all know that when you go through your process, they're going to let you know the fees that are associated with not having or not doing what you're supposed to be doing and having what you're supposed to have. So back to like the policy and procedures, rules and regulations, make sure you understand it, because you have to follow it. And if the better you understand it, the easier it's going to be to draw up a policy and procedure for the agency and to pass your survey. So when they check the policy and procedures, you're at the point of your survey. So they either come in, mine was online. So in Illinois, they actually changed it. The first one is online, and then after that, they come in. Now, they may skip a couple years, but they're coming in. They come at any time. They don't have to give you any type of notice. Read the administrative code, understand it. And once you understand and you comprehend everything that you need to do, if you have questions, again, you could reach out to them for better understanding. If you have questions, I recommend that you kind of put the area where you find the question at, just to make sure, because sometimes we end up answering our own question. But besides that, if you watch the other videos, I got really good feedback. They didn't have a problem helping me at all. They were throwing themselves at me to help me, because I was like, you know, I looked in this area and I saw it said this or it said that, but I didn't see this, or this was actually a typo. So now I'm really confused. Like, you know, I showed them that I did the work, because all they gonna do is tell you, look in this section here, it's gonna be 2C on this page. And like, what if you already looked there? So now you wasting my time. So just be kind of descriptive when you email them or call them or whatever, and let them know, like, yeah, so I'm looking for this answer, or can you answer this for me? I did see this in this area, but I just was still confused about XYZ. So just do your work and let them know that you did your work. They really appreciate that, and they really go the extra mile for you. So you want to rewrite it to be compliant. Rewrite the policy and procedures, that is, to be compliant with the administrative code. Again, the administrative code is the rules and regulations. I really want y'all to understand that, because it can get really confusing. So when you're writing, your policy and procedure is based on the rules that they set for you in your state. It's called the administrative code. Because this is the part where everybody gets scared. And then people be like, I'm about to sell my car so I can get these policy and procedures or whatever. You don't have to do that. At the time that you're writing the policy and procedures, you can go ahead and add additional things to that. But I recommend, like I said, you don't. And they've never told me to take anything out that I personally felt like I wanted to add in there, or let a little extra info. It's just, they have a lot of people turning in applications, and for other things as well. So they don't do just home care. They do home health. They do placement. They do nursing facility. Like, they do so many things. And so it can get really busy. And as you know, like with COVID, they're like, everything is different now. People don't have as many workers as they did. So you kind of want to get straight to the point and answer the things that they're looking for. put the things in the policy and procedures that they're looking for that was in the administrative code. And I'll say add whatever you want to add to it later, because them telling you what needs to be in there is the minimum. They also do this for your agreement or contract. It's going to tell you too, like, okay, you need to have a part in there for them to sign. You need to have in there that you're responsible for paying the caregiver. So it's just letting the client know that they're not responsible for paying the caregiver. They're responsible for paying the agency. The agency is responsible for paying the caregiver. So it tells you the bare minimum that you need to have in your agreement or contract, as well as your policy and procedure. So at any time you can add anything extra that you want. I just recommend you do it later. Another reason why I recommend you do it later is because once you get your license, you kind of tend to go over everything again. And I've done this in every single business that I've had. Even with childcare, it's like, okay, I got a client, I meet them tomorrow, let me go through all my stuff and make sure it's accurate. Because, example, if we go to a store and we get a chocolate bar, and this chocolate bar is supposed to be $1, but it rang up for $3, right? What are we gonna do? We're gonna be like, oh no, it say right here $1. I'm paying $1, okay? Nobody's gonna expect anything less from you. If you say you charging $10 an hour in that agreement, guess what? They're gonna argue high and low with you. They're gonna want it for $10. So you're gonna get to a point where right before you take off, you're gonna want to go over everything and implement what you want and take out whatever you don't want. It's like you don't want to be worried about all those extra things while you're dealing with the state. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already heavy enough. Even though you really shouldn't be that worried. It's like, my feeling for it is like when I used to get in trouble as a kid, I would come home late, and before I get home, I'd be like, dang, I'm finna get in trouble. I shouldn't have came home this late. But when I get there, my mama ain't even there yet. So she don't even know, and I ain't even in trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it happened all the time. So I was like, I know I'm getting myself worked up for no reason, because I'm gonna get home and she's not even gonna be home yet. It's pointless. You know, just really take in the experience. Just don't stress yourself out. It's not that deep. There's a ton of people that you can reach out to for help. And this is in any case. If you're dealing with the DMV, if you're dealing with the public health department, whoever you're dealing with at that time, these people, for me, they have been known to answer the phone, answer any type of question that I had. And also just remember that you get more bees with honey, okay? So even if you're just not having a good day, as soon as you get on that phone, you... Hi, how are you? Okay, so my name is I'm calling today because I wanted to know would you be able to help me with that? You know, just be personal, be friendly. It's like a beginning. You're starting out already practicing, because when you get ready to answer the phone for the clients, you need to be the same way. You need to sound friendly. You need to sound knowledgeable. You need to sound interested. And so get all that stuff ready right now. But so I mean, yeah, so one of my examples is the saying, do unto others as you'll have them do unto you, right? Everybody knows that. However, let me put this page down. However, if you're doing a policy and procedure, and that is the policy and procedure you're going to do unto others, and how are you going to do it? As you would want them to do unto you. So the policy is what it is, and the procedure is how you're going to carry it out. That's the best way I can explain it. The policy is what needs to be followed, what the rule is, and the procedure is how the rule is to be carried out. Okay, so how can you rewrite it to be compliant with the initial policy and procedure with your own unique understanding and words? So one of the options is be nice and respectful to everyone you encounter. Another one is show kindness and respect towards others in your interactions. Another one is treat people with compassion and courtesy in your daily interactions. Another one is practice being kind and considerate to others in your daily life. And another one is always remember to treat others with kindness and respect in all situations. So that's it. If the policy and procedure says you must have these different things, and you got to put that in your policy and procedure, because you have to they said you got to have that in there, and you have to let people know, clients know, employees know, administrative you know, whoever working in the office, they have to know and they have to find it in your policies. You just recreate it using your own understanding and not straying away from the original intent for it. That's it, literally. Now, there were some things that was like, how else can you say that? Like, I didn't waste too much time on it. I put it in exactly the same way they had it. But I figure if you have more of the policy and procedures in your own words, and there's like 3 of them, 4 of them, 5, because it's a lot. Just have well more than half in your own unique words. Some of them I just tweaked, like I took out and put like in addition to, or, you know, just little things like that. Some of them I literally put the same thing they had, because how many different ways can you say some of the stuff that they had in there? I wish I had an example to kind of tell y'all right now, but I don't. But what my point is, don't stress over it. Keep going, stay in the momentum, stay, you know, keep a positive aspect on everything, and just don't even stress over it. Okay? So, the last thing I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up here, is it sounds like first grade information, but if you do have corrections to make and you're not understanding where you're going wrong and you don't understand exactly what you need to ask them, you probably want to understand what they are asking you. If they're asking you, how is this policy going to be carried out? Just go through it. Okay, so are they asking you who is carrying out the policy? No, they're not asking who. Are they asking what the policy is? No, they understand what it is. They're not asking what it is. Are they asking me how it's going to be carried out? Okay, so when we think of how, you know, just go with that. If that's all they asked you, go with that and leave it at that. There is some things that were added that I didn't understand. It's like a policy that has nothing to do with task, but for some reason I had to put in like how to carry out exercising, and it looks so weird to me, because like, why is this even in this policy? But if that's what they asked you for, put it in there. You can ask questions like, this is what you needed, right? Because it just looked out of place to me. I didn't understand really why it was there, but of course, if this is what needs to be there, I wanted to make sure I have what needs to be there in there. So is this correct? And they'll answer that for you. But I got to the point where I was like, okay, well, that's what they asked for. That's what I'm gonna put in there. And, you know, I got through it. I have my license. Actually, my license is right here. So, yeah. But that's it. If y'all have questions, ask below. I feel like I covered pretty much all the basics of the beginning. Yep. I think that's it, y'all. So thank you for tuning in. Somebody asked if I was doing classes. I'm not doing classes. Maybe when I get established, I'll do like evening classes or something. Because I really do have like, it's something about me. I just like giving. I like helping people. And I obviously, like, that's why I'm in this business. But I really just like genuinely helping people. Like, I charge for this stuff, but on a couple of platforms, I was just giving y'all whatever. But I do charge for the information. If I get to 500 subscribers, I noticed that I can do some type of like a live, like some type of interaction with y'all. So hopefully we can run it up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. If it's something that you're interested in, if you just kind of watching. Also, sometimes I might show up on your feed, but you might actually not be subscribing. So just make sure you subscribe so we can get to 500 and we can do like one-on-one interactions. I'll be on the screen like this and y'all can just type and I'll answer the questions as we go. So yeah, that's another thing I was thinking would be a good idea, because it'd be kind of like live. As soon as you ask, I can give you the answer. And then it's my office, so I have everything right here. I can kind of show y'all stuff, pull it up. Yeah, so I'm hoping for that. I don't know what else. What else is important? I don't want to just ramble. Yeah, I mean, besides that though, I do have the one-on-ones. They might be like $54 right now. I think they're like $54. I do have to charge. It's like an hour of my time, and obviously I'm like super swamped right now, and I do have kids, okay? So I do have to charge, unfortunately. But other than that, y'all try to get it to 500 so we could try to do some things that don't cost, and I could help y'all out. But yeah, thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Yeah, okay.